What's up, beautiful people? Back at it. Today's going to be a quick one. Just want to go over some recent knife purchases that I've made over the last couple of months, give you some specs on them, and then get your opinions on them. I'm curious to know, are you going to be picking up some of these? Do you already have them? Are you carrying them? How do you like them? Let's get right to the overcam and get right to it. I'm Jason Stone, and this is Shooting from the Hip, Episode 2. All right, let's go over what we got here today. Now, just off the bat, to throw it out there and get it out of the way, this is not a sponsored video. None of this stuff was sent to me. I purchased all of these items with my own money. You're going to get an honest opinion on every single one of these items from me. Okay, nobody has bought my opinion. Now, with that said, the first one up is this beauty right here. Now, it's funny, me and my brother were in Jim Thorpe, Pennsylvania, and we walked into what appeared to be this little Army and Navy store. It was a really nice little shop there. The guy who owned the store was sitting at the front desk there, and I just see him messing with this thing. I was like, what is that? He was like, oh, this is a Viper out the front box utility knife. How much is it? I think I paid like $80 for this thing. Anyway, fast forward, come to find out I did some research on it because I was looking up Viper and, I wanted to see if I got ripped off or not. I couldn't for the life of me find anything about a Viper utility knife. And then a buddy of mine who's in the EDC group with me, I had posted a picture of it on Instagram and he was like, oh, that's a Cobra Tech utility knife. So I looked it up. On the site, it retails for about $90. It's light, it's durable, nice smooth action. All right. Button is stiff, but not too stiff. So I have no worries about this going off in my pocket. The pocket clip itself is very stiff. Looks like it'll hold up well. Not reversible. And this particular color seems to be like a sea foam green. Really cool engraving of a cobra right there. I like this thing. Nice and smooth. Out the front utility knife specifications: 3.2 ounces, dual action out the front, standard refillable utility blades, which, these things are a dime a dozen. You can find these things anywhere. They get dull. You could flip it and you pretty much got a brand new blade. 3.3 inches aluminum handle, 5.1 inches in total length. And now the website calls out that it's designed for right-hand carry. But I don't see an issue that if you were left-handed and had this in your left side pocket, that if you pulled it out, you wouldn't be able to draw that quickly. So definitely a nice little utility knife here. I could definitely recommend this for an EDC for sure. One thing that I will say is check your local laws, your local and state laws, and make sure that this thing is legal to carry. I know in certain states for sure it is not. They do not like these fast action utility knives. So definitely check that out before you go ahead and carry it. Moving on to the next one. Now, this to me is an interesting one because if you watched my last video when we were talking about EDC stuff, I had mentioned that there are some things that I have purchased off of Temu. Now, Temu, like I said in that video, it's hit and miss. Sometimes the photos, the videos that they have on there, they're very deceiving. And the product that you order ends up coming and it's like this big. And it's definitely not what was in the picture. Now, with that said, I came across this item here. Now, at first look, right, you would say to yourself, wow, that's a nice Leatherman. But it is definitely not a Leatherman. This is a Temu special right here. If I had to compare it to any Leatherman on the market, I would have to say that it comes close to the Signal with this little tool right here. Okay, it's got a glass breaker, nail puller. It's got a socket here for you to hold bits. What I have to say also is it does have some features that are similar to the Arc when it comes to this little pull-out thing here on this side that has your screwdriver tip in it. There's a Phillips and a flathead in there. So I guess best of both worlds. It's nice and stiff, but not too stiff where it's gonna, it's not gonna flop around on you, right? It's got some nice clickiness to it. It has a little, I don't want to say what I wanted to say, but it's got a little help whistle here. Hey, help, works. Little ferrocene rod here if you wanted to start a fire. It has some decent features. Now, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Is purchasing things from Temu not good? Is it good? Do you purchase things on Temu? Have you had any luck? You got any horror stories? It's got a decent thick pair of scissors here too. I'm not saying that I am necessarily a huge supporter of Temu, but I will say that I am cheap and I like cheap things, and sometimes Temu is a win in my opinion. It's got a nice blade there. A nice file. Got some thick grip. Little measuring stick. Right? The pliers are nice. I did cut some pencil rod with this, so the blade was sharp, cut right through the pencil rod. And then it's got your typical Leatherman stuff here also. Your can openers, your awl, little flathead screwdriver here, bottle opener. Not a bad purchase. Just to, give you an idea here, the Signal Leatherman, that goes for like $150 on their website. The Arc goes for like $250. I paid $25 for this, if that. It might have been even less. I think I paid like $22 for this. It's got a nice deep pocket clip here. That's pretty rigid. Got some nice snap to it. I think it was a good purchase, if I say so myself. I haven't had some extensive field testing with it, but so far so good. I'll let you know a couple of months down the road in an update video if that's something that you want, if it held up to the test of time. Let's move on to the next one here. Now, this is the Kaiser Madrick, I believe is how it's pronounced. This was designed by Matteo Pignatelli. I think that's how you pronounce his name. Nice smooth action. Sharp blade. I wasn't really feeling this color scheme. If I'm being honest with you, I ordered the grayish black one. So the handle was supposed to be gray, and the thumb studs and the highlight ring was all supposed to be blacked out. Somehow I got this purple one. I'm not complaining. Purple's not really my flavor, but it is what it is. Still holds its purpose. They say it's a deep carry pocket clip. I don't really think it's that deep of a carry. It's pretty snappy, seems firm. Like I said, nice smooth action, double thumb studs. It has the Kaiser clutch lock, they call it. Its overall length is 7.47 ounces. The blade style is sheep's foot. Blade length is 3.6 inches. Their thickness is 0.11. The blade material is Nitro V. Blade finishing is satin. Blade grind is flat. Handle length is about 4.41 inches. Now, the website says that it's just a regular pocket clip. I don't know. Listen, I like deep carry pocket clips because it conceals the knife well. But again, tomato, if you ask me. Very, very smooth action. Flick test. Opens on a dime. Nice little blade. I carried it only for about 2 weeks now. Didn't cut many boxes open with it because, I'm an Amazon box warrior now. Not really in the field anymore. So, yeah. We'll see what happens the next time I take it to the woods. Go camp and see how it holds up. Next one on the list. On TikTok, it's called the Kraken. However, I looked this up on their website and they have it listed as a Klaken. I'm not really sure what's going on there. None of my business. But lightweight, okay? It's steam sturdy, no wiggle. Says it's got the little D2 labeling right there. I guess this is the D2 steel. So the website does say that the steel is D2 satin blackened. The blade itself is 3.54 inches. Overall length of 8.07. Manual opening flipper. Flick test. Little stiff on the flick test. But it does go. At least the second one it went. Linear lock. And it comes with a nylon pouch. Closed, it's 4.53 inches. The handle is a G10. Let's give it a quick little cut test. All right. This is some copy paper, folded. It's pretty sharp. 2 layers of paper right there, right? I'd say so myself. Pretty good if you ask me. So far so good with this thing. I'm going to keep it around for a little bit and really test it, see how long it keeps its edge, and cut a few more things, and I'll make an update video. Let me know down in the comments, have you seen this thing all over TikTok? You interested? Because I gotta say, I was heavily intrigued. It's got a nice grippy handle. It's not spring assisted, but it does have this little finger notch here that enables it to be fast opening. It's a nice little knife. The next one we got up in the lineup is the Benchmade Claymore. This particular one is in all black. They do have an assortment of colors. I like the Ranger Green one. That one looks nice for sure. Spring assisted, has a nice knife lock here. Some raised grittiness on the handle to get yourself a nice firm grip. Spring assisted knife, opens up nicely, fairly sturdy, not a lot of wiggle to it. Open length is 8.6 inches. Closed length is 5 inches. Push button auto with integrated safety. Deep carry pocket clip, which is reversible. 3.6 inch blade length, 0.6 inch handle thickness. The blade style is a drop point. Blade finish is Cerakote. Now, here's the funny thing about this knife. This is a clone. This is not a real Benchmade. So these right here are authentic Benchmades. Now we're gonna go over these in just a little bit, but I just wanted to make this disclaimer about this particular knife here. When I purchased these 2 knives, the gentleman that I bought the knives from threw this in for free. Now, I was a little perplexed when the gentleman that I bought these 2 knives from said that he was going to throw this in for free. I was like, are you sure? You know, these things retail for about $250 on the Benchmade website. He explained to me that this was a clone Benchmade and it wasn't authentic. Now, he also had a guide. I'm guessing it's some sort of a shopper's guide that they send to retailers. Pictures, all the information on every single model knife that Benchmade makes. We went over every single spec on this knife, and there's literally not one detail that is off from this being a not authentic knife. From the amount of dots to the markings on the blade. I mean, maybe the material of the blade itself is different, but I wouldn't be able to tell that, honestly. Deep pocket carry clip, reversible. Honestly, not a lot of wiggle, and sometimes on these spring assisted knives they get a little bit of wiggle here. Let's go to the double thick paper. sharp as a baby. A wee little sharp baby. So, again, you know, what's your opinion on getting clone knives? Are you against it? You know, I know a lot of people's arguments is, hey, you know, it takes money away from the manufacturer. And under normal circumstances, you know, again, my honest opinion here, unless you're a guy who's making custom knives from scratch, you know, molding the steel, building the handles, the painting, the carving, all of it, there's no way that I think you should be able to justify charging $250 and up for a blade. Okay? Again, if it was a custom blade, I think it's well worth it. The time and the dedication to that craft that it took whoever it was to make that custom blade by hand, that is well worth, you know, $500 and up, in my opinion. But a company like Benchmade, I don't know. I mean, listen, they make good products. I enjoy their products. I just feel they're very overly inflated when it comes to price. What do you guys think down in the comments? Let me know. Let's talk about it. Now, the other knives that I purchased from that gentleman here, this is the Benchmade Infidel. Another OTF action knife. Nice smooth action. Button is fairly stiff, not too loose. I don't think there'll be any accidental openings in the pocket. She definitely a sharp one. Let's take it to the paper test. Yeah, look at that. Yeah. Take it to the other side. Yeah. Let's go over some specs. Open length, 8.91 inches. Close length, 5 inches. Double-edged dagger, Cerakote finish, PVD coated. The blade length itself is 3.91 inches. Double action out the front, automatic. Deep carry pocket clip. This pocket clip is not reversible. I assume that's because the button is on this side, so it would kind of be counterproductive, I guess, if the belt clip would be on this side. It's got some weight to it. It's hefty, right? Definitely would make a good fist filler for sure. Nice solid nice solid action there. Again, you know, smooth action, very sharp D2 steel. On Benchmade's website, this retails for $550. Secondhand market, I paid $220 for it. Now that could have been a group deal because I bought a bunch of them. However, again, you know, $550 for a knife is outrageous to me, unless it's a custom made knife. I think at this point you're just paying for a name. That's my opinion. The next one that we're going to go over is the Benchmade Shootout. Okay? Another OTF knife, smooth action, pretty stiff button here. I like this style of knife, the button on the side. I don't think there'll be any accidental discharges while it's in the pocket. Open length, 8.194 inches. Closed length is 4.7. Double action out the front, automatic. Deep carry pocket clip. Pocket clip is not too stiff, but not too soft. You definitely get some good concealment out of it. Button is okay. I don't think it's as strong as this one here, but I like this style of knife. Let's take it to the paper test. Yeah, she's a sharp one. This particular bad lady retails for $350. There is no lanyard hole on it. It does have a glass punch on the back here. I threw a lanyard and a lanyard bead on the back of the pocket clip just to assist with pulling it out of my pocket. Other than that, you know, like I said, smooth action on the blade, opens every time, has a little bit of give to it, but nothing crazy. And as you can see, she is sharp. What do you guys think of this one? Is this something that you would carry? Again, just to reiterate here, check your local and state laws. In most states that are not so free, this is highly illegal to carry. The next one on the list is the Benchmade Full Immunity. Now, this is a nice, small, little pocket carry. I like this thing a lot. This is the type of knife that I would carry if I was, dressed up, maybe in a suit or some nice slacks, and I didn't want anything big and bulky, poking out of my pocket. Double thumb studs, nice smooth action. Open length is 5.94 inches. The closed length is 3.46. The blade itself is 2.4 inches. This does have a reversible tip up mini deep carry. It is very stiff and snappy, so it's going to hold well into the pocket. Has the double thumb lock stud there for either side for ambidextrous carry. It's a nice little blade for sure. Smooth action on the opening. Let's take it to the flick test. On the first one, baby. Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. The blade style is a Warncliffe. I believe that's how you pronounce it. I'm not really a blade expert. Let's take it to the paper test. Swipe. She sharp. She a sharp one. Oh yeah, she's a sharp one. Now remember, that's double layer copy paper right there. So opened a few boxes with it, cut through some cardboard. Definitely has been holding up. Haven't sharpened it yet. I've had this blade for about 4 weeks now. Nothing major to really complain about. Now the Benchmade website, this retails for $325. Again, I got this on the secondhand market for cheap. I believe I paid $125 for it. So, there's that. I encourage you guys, if, you're looking for blades of a well-known name brand, because, again, I honestly feel at this point you're just paying for a name. Look on eBay. Look on the secondhand markets. You could purchase one of those seller's guides that Benchmade offers, so you can confirm whether or not it is in fact authentic compared to a clone like the Claymore here. Like I said, I'm all about saving dough. So if I don't have to pay full retail price and it's a clone and it's a good clone, I don't see the problem with it. I don't think I'm necessarily taking money out of somebody's mouth. I would never buy a cloned weapon from a custom manufacturer, because that, I believe, is taking food off of somebody's plate. But when it comes to these big multi-million-dollar companies like Benchmade, then I don't really see the issue there. Again, that's just my opinion. Maybe some people call me a scumbag about it. You want to rip me in the comments, rip me in the comments. I'd love to start a conversation with you. Let's talk about it. I'm curious to know what other people think. I can't be the only one that would rather save a few bucks than spend top dollar, right? Moving on to the next one. This is the Montana Knife Company Speed Goat 2.2. Now, again, none of these were sent to me. Bought all of these with my own money. I bought this on the secondhand market as well. The only thing I didn't like about this knife, and we'll talk about that right off the bat, was the Kydex holster that it came with and belt clip. I had a buddy of mine make another holster for me. I feel like it has better retention on this one. And the pocket clip, I took an old pocket clip from a Slim Fit holster and I just attached it to the Kydex that my buddy made, and I like this knife so much better for a nice concealed carry. I'll put this probably at my 9 o'clock to carry to accommodate my sidearm, which I usually run at around 3 o'clock. So, she's nice and small. I like the paracord wrapping that they have on here. So the blade steel is a 52-100 ball bearing steel, full tank construction, 6 3/4 inches overall length, 3-inch blade length. They said the blade thickness is like a .090. The overall weight for this bad boy is 1.21 ounces. Blade finishes a PVD. USA paracord, made in the USA in Montana. This particular knife retails at $200. I bought this at a flea market secondhand for $80. Or older gentleman, I guess, just didn't like it, decided to sell it. I looked up all the specs. I compared this to a knife that I knew was authentic that a buddy of mine has, and I mean, it checks out. So I don't believe this one is a counterfeit. Again, my only complaint that I had was that Kydex holster that it came with. I didn't feel like there was a lot of retention on it, so I wanted to swap it out. Double paper test. She a sharp one. Yeah. A little poke. Yeah, she a sharp one. For sure. So that does it with the recent purchases for the knives. Again, I'd love to hear back from you and let me know what you think about the clone situation or any of these knives, things that you guys work with. Is it something that you're considering on purchasing? Let me know. Also, love to start the conversation with you regarding the Temu products. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? Do you think it's stupid to buy things off of Temu, that they won't last? I'd love to hear your opinion about it. Not a knife, but something that I did want to mention. This Streamlight Micro Stream. I've been using this for going on, I don't know, it's got to be at least a year now. Over a year, possibly. I love this little thing. It's small, it's lightweight, it's fairly bright. It does what it has to do. You know, my only gripe with this thing is that it has that micro USB charger and not a Type-C charger. I would love to see an updated version of this that has a Type-C port instead of the micro USB. It seems like everything's going Type-C nowadays, so instead of having to carry that one extra charger, it would be great if I can just have one to rule them all. That is not the first time I used that reference, and I can just not get out of using that reference. I don't know why. Anyway, let's take it back up top and close this out. Well, that does it for this episode. If you made it this far, I appreciate you being here, listening to me bump my gums. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It really does help out the channel. The algorithm is fierce, and it is taking no prisoners. I'd love to hear back from you. Let me know down in the comments, what do you think of all the stuff that I showed you in today's video? Are these things you're considering purchasing? Do you already have them? Do you use them? What's your opinion on buying directly from the manufacturer? Are you opposed to buying things on the secondary market and saving a little bit of money? Who doesn't like to save money, right? Let's talk about it. I'm Jason Stone, and this was Shooting from the Hip.